Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, gonna go over my best bets, lock of the week parlays that I'm targeting on this card for UFC Vegas 100. In the main one, we got Magny versus Prates. Obviously, this is probably gonna be the best fight on the card, I have a feeling. But yeah, I wasn't able to do a best bets video for UFC. I'd mentioned last week, but we did one for UFC 3. We did pretty well on that. We went like 4-0 on the best bets. We hit the lock of the week, Lauren Murphy, which was a lock of the week for it was Bidas as Lauren Murphy. Bidas was in. I knew he wasn't gonna finish Ige. Ige's really tough, and Murphy obviously got dropped early in the first round. He was able to recover and win the second round, third round. So I'm happy that we hit the lock of the week there. And now let's talk about the best bets for UFC Weeks 100, which is why you guys are here watching this video. Let's talk about this best bets now. So best bet for UFC 100. We're gonna go with under 2.5 rounds for the main win for Practice versus Magny. Magny's coming back after like a few months since he got KO'd by Michael Morales, and I don't think he's taken enough time off at almost 40 years old. He should have probably taken more time off, to be fair, but I feel like he's probably rushing in so he can collect another paycheck. I'm sure the UFC is paying him a ton of money to take on a Prates in the main event, UFC Vegas 100, because probably not a lot of people are signing him to fight Prates. And the UFC knows they can rely on a guy like Magny to take on anyone that they can give him. So I'm gonna go with Prates. I think he's gonna find that knockout. I was gonna go with Prates to win in under 2.5 rounds, but that's like minus 200. It's the same price. I mean, so likely, more than likely, he's gonna be the one that wins. But this way, if there's something crazy happens and Magny pulls off something crazy and gets a submission or something, you never know in this game, right? You're gonna be covered either way. So I think this one's gonna go under 2.5 rounds. Prates probably gonna find his timing and range early in the first round, like he normally does. Then he really starts putting power behind his strikes in the second round. So I'm picking second round KO for Prates. I like the under 2.5 rounds here. Let's talk about the next best bet now. The next best bet on the card is going to be Bernardo Lopez ITD, and this one's kind of a long shot, just a bit, because Terzios is pretty tough though. He hasn't been KO'd all that much. He fought Steve Garcia like 10 years ago, and he went the distance with Steve Garcia, beat Steve Garcia. I'm sure if they ran that back, Steve Garcia would probably knock him out in the first round. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, Paz, I feel like he's dangerous enough. He's a finisher when he's winning outside the UFC. He's normally a finisher, and he was trying to finish Vinicius Oliveira, which was my lock of the week. Oliveira, we got him at like minus 130, so I was pretty confident Oliveira was gonna go out there and beat him. But it was actually a tough fight for Oliveira, man. I mean, Paz gave him everything he could handle in the first rounds, and eventually he kind of gassed out later, and Vinicius Oliveira was able to knock him out viciously with that flying knee. And those leg kicks, he was hurting him too with those leg kicks also. In this fight, guys, I think he's not really gonna be worried about anything that Turris is gonna be throwing back his way. I feel like he's gonna be able to wrestle if he needs to. He can land better shots. He can land counters against Tercios. Tercios is pretty tough though, but let's not pretend like he's unfinishable, right? He's been finished in two of his four fights at the UFC level, so it's not like he doesn't get finished in the UFC. So I like Lopez ITD plus 200. I think that's not a bad play prop. Let's talk about the next best bet now, guys. Next best bet on the card is going to be Malik under 1.5 rounds. I think this fight's going to go under 1.5 rounds. They're giving him a pretty good matchup here. I think he can take this guy down, run and pound him. He can knock him out on the feet, or he could probably get knocked out himself on the feet, which is probably not going to happen, but you never know in this game, like I said earlier. I like the under 1.5 rounds in this one. I think we're going to see a finish here either way. They're both really powerful. And Malik could probably go out there and submit him also if he wants to, right? He's got a submission win before. So normally he goes for ground and pound. I feel like it's probably going to be ground and pound more than likely. But if you want to sprinkle something long shot, it's probably submission Malik. But I think it's going to win by TKO. But Todorovic has power also, man. The guy he's actually the cleaner striker, more technical striker, but his chin is really bad. I don't think he's gonna be able to take power from Malik, so Under 1.5 rounds, more than likely it goes under 1.5 rounds. If you want to be safer, you can probably take fight doesn't start round 3. That's probably better, but I like the under here. And the price isn't all that bad either. Or you can take Malik by KO, which is like minus 165, but it's like I like the under more than that. All right, guys, let's move on to next best bet on the card is gonna be fight doesn't go the distance and RDR and GM3 fight. Even GM3's out there fighting, I mean, he hardly ever goes the distance. He normally doesn't see the scorecards all that often, right? Um, he's only gone the distance like a few times, or like 4 times at the UFC level. So I think this fight has a high probability of being finished inside the distance. So I'm going to take ITD. I think we're going to see a finish here either way. All right, guys, let's move over to my lock of the week now. Julian Robertson, ITD. I like Julian Robertson. I think if she's able to get those takedowns, and I think she is going to be able to get those takedowns, she's going to finish Pinero. I'm pretty confident in her to find that finish. So you should be able to find a submission or just throw ground and pound. And I bet her by finish over Watterson at plus 125. This one, we're not getting plus money here because I guess people know how unreliable Pinero's gas tank is. He doesn't have the cardio to go 15 minutes. So he's only got cardio for like the first round. And I think with Robertson, even though he doesn't have the best takedowns, I mean, see, like a couple of years ago, she didn't really have the best takedowns. Now I think her takedowns are getting better. Her wrestling's getting better now. Recently, since he's moved down to strawweight. At 125, I mean, most girls were able to defend her takedowns. At 115, I mean, she's actually pretty strong at 115. So I think she's gonna be able to defend. She's gonna be able to get those takedowns eventually. She's probably gonna have a hard time getting takedowns in the first like 3 minutes. But the thing about Robertson is she's gonna stick to a game plan and she's gonna force those takedowns and she's gonna eventually get one takedown. It's only gonna take one takedown, I feel like, for her to get that finish over Pinero. Pinero, I think she is a black belt on the ground, but I mean, doesn't seem like it. I mean, she got finished by Angela Hill, and that was Angela Hill's first ever submission in the UFC or like overall in her career. I think she's got like 50 fights overall, and just goes to show. I mean, Pinero, she kind of has that quit button. She kind of quits out there when she doesn't things aren't really going her way, and I don't see things going her way in this matchup here. So give me Robertson by finish at minus 135 for lock of the week this week. Hopefully we make it 2 in a row for prop lock of the weeks. We hit Murphy by decision. We're gonna hit this one, I think. All right, guys, let's talk about the parlays now. Parlays for no, where's my parlays? Okay, there we go. This is my parlays. So parlays that I like for this card. I mean, there's like some chalky favorites on those cards, so it's kind of tough to make long degen parlays that I'm kind of confident in. I like Pride, his money line, Robertson, ITD, minus 105. I think that's pretty safe. You can double your money with that one. I like Pride, his TKO, Gomes, money line, Robertson, ITD. I think that's pretty safe also. I see all of them winning at a high percentage. This one's like I'm kind of like worried about Blackshirt. He just got KO'd in the first like 10 seconds against Monto. Obviously, Monto has some of the most power at 135, so that can happen. I mean, when you're fighting a guy like Monto Jackson. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Blackshirt. I think he can win this one. He's a lot bigger than his opponent. I mean, and Malik moneyline, Lopez moneyline, Radke moneyline plus 258. The Radke fight kind of worries me because Burger hits like a truck. He's got crazy power. He can go like 3 rounds. He's not really a gasser. So, but his fight IQ is really questionable. So that's why I'm picking Radke. I think Radke can hang on the feet and he can grapple if he needs to. He can mix in takedowns. And this one's a degen, Gomes ITD and Lopez ITD plus 845. Gomes, man, he's definitely got some of the most power for WMA. I mean, I feel like in WMA, Gomes is like one of the hardest hitters out there right now on the roster. And Lopez, they're both fighting, like, both of their opponents are like not dangerous. I mean, Lopez fighting Tarsus is not dangerous. Gomes is fighting Carolina Kolokiewicz, is not dangerous. He's goes a distance. It's pretty tough though. But if Gomes really like lets her hands go, I think there's a possibility she can finish her by TKO. I get it, like why people don't think they're gonna finish their opponents, but there's definitely a chance. I feel like. So there you go, guys. That's my parlays. Best bets, lock of the week. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And I'm out of here. Later, guys.